Today I'm going to take you through the basics, something that many on this platform ignore. And these basic drills are drills that you can practice at home without going to the range. And the guys who are really good at this stuff are really good at the advanced stuff. You can't be good at the advanced stuff. You can't be good at the walking and the running if you can't crawl first. So today I'm going to take you through crawling with these simple drills. Let's go ahead and get kitted out and jump right into it. Okay, now that we're all kitted out, let's go ahead and jump right into this. This drill is simply called ready up. That's it. And for this drill, you're going to need a 2-point sling ideally, bar none, the best setup. If you run a 1-point or single point sling, you'll see very quickly it's definitely not the best sling, especially if you're out in the woods like this. For home defense maybe, but I feel even the retention with a 2-point sling is definitely a lot better. Beyond that, it's a lot more comfortable, but I digress on that point. Today's ready up drill, and this is one you're going to want to practice a lot. And your stock placement is going to vary depending on the type of equipment that you're running. Normally you'd want to try and get the buttstock into your shoulder pocket, but with this plate carrier on, things begin to shift around a little bit. The key takeaway here is ensuring that you consistently put the rifle in the same spot, you get a good cheek weld, and you get good sight alignment. You pick up your dot consistently every time, and you bring the rifle up to you, up to your head, and not your head down to the rifle. If you're running iron sights, same basic philosophy. And with this, we can begin practicing other weapon manipulation techniques. But we're going to start with the first part of this and then build on it in steps. Again, we got to crawl first. So just let your rifle hang, get your hands positioned like you're patrolling or you're pulling security, and then find something that you're going to point your rifle at. It could be a doorknob, whatever it is. Obviously make sure your weapon's clear, right? Find something in your room to aim at, or at the range you can practice this as well, especially if you have access to something like this. It's going to be a lot easier for you. So for this first drill, just ready up. 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 Okay, from there we can build on the ready up. We can begin to practice the manipulation of the safety. This is a critical drill. You need to know where the controls of your rifle are, and depending upon what type of platform you have, it may take a little more movement of your fingers to get everything engaged or disengaged. So we can start it like this. Ready up, safety off, safety back on, down. Ready up, safety off, put the weapon back on safe. Just because you bring the rifle up doesn't mean you're going to fire every time. That's something else to practice. Maybe the threat is closing and the introduction of the platform is enough to stop the threat, right? Now, with that, we're going to move into the controlled pairs. Same drill. Ready up. Okay. Now, you're not going to be able to put your weapon on safe because you just fired it. But we're going to charge it because we're going to practice charging the platform that we have. Put it on safe. Same drill. Ready up. Charge it again. Put that weapon back on safe. Ready up. And continue to practice that. Really work on that. This is a really key fundamental movement, and you need to become really, really good at it. Because we have to be accountable for where our rounds go. Now, moving on to the next evolution of this drill. We're going to insert an empty magazine. We're going to practice some mag changes. Now, There are different ways to change magazines, and not all magazines will drop free depending upon the platform that you have. For the most part, in this AM-15, which I have a review on my channel, most magazines fall free. That's not always a guarantee. So I would recommend that you look at a couple different techniques for magazine changes, and that you practice potentially with a dump pouch as well, because you may need to retain these magazines for later use. In this particular case though, I would say for the basic part of this, just focus on getting that magazine out of the rifle and getting a fresh magazine in. So we're going to combine all this together. Ready, up, 1, 2. We can feel that the weapon is dry, right? Now, for real, if this were working correctly, the bolt's going to lock to the rear. Once you shoot your AR enough, you're going to know the impulse. You're going to know that the bolt is locked to the rear. Not every magazine will do this, and sometimes there could be any number of reasons why the bolt doesn't lock to the rear, which is why it's critical that you know how to work the charging handle and the other features of the rifle. So now, we need to top the rifle off, right? So firing, bolt locks to the rear, weapon's going back on safe. I'm gonna get that magazine out, and I'm gonna insert that fresh magazine, and I'm back on target. Okay? Practice that. Try a couple different ways of getting the magazine in and out once you have accomplished that basic reload drill. From here, we're gonna move into some facing movements. So we're gonna go ahead and charge the weapon again. Clear, safe. We'll go ahead and get that out of the rifle for now. But we can combine all this together. So again, find something that you're going to point your rifle at, and you can do contact left or contact right. So I'm going to go contact right. So I'm going to identify my target first as I bring the rifle around, because I'm going to bring the rifle up to my eye, and I'm not going to find the rifle, if that makes sense. As I said, practice that part. So we have to work on our facing, right? So you'll see how I'm standing here, kind of an aggressive stance. Got my left foot a little forward, right foot back, knees bent. Kind of a modified isosceles stance. So we're gonna go ahead and pivot on contact right. Contact right. Contact right. Contact right. Work on those facing movements, work on that footwork. Contact rear. Right? Work on that over and over again. Now we're going to put this into live fire, and once you get really good at picking up one target, I want you to begin using 2 targets. Work on a little bit of a transition with that ready up drill. Where we're here, right? Weapon's on safe. Up, boom, boom. Practice even putting that weapon back on safe when moving between the targets, because everything in front of you may not be a threat. Now, if there's a known threat, we don't have to worry about that as much, but be very aware of the condition of your weapon at all times. Be very aware. The people you might be training with or working with may not have the same skill level that you have. So be aware of that. You guys may want to alter your SOPs accordingly, but work on the basics that I have shown you. Make sure everybody in your group is working on these types of basics as well, because without these fundamentals, you guys are going to be way behind the 8 ball, because the guys, like I said, who are really good at the advanced stuff, practice everything I just showed you all the time. So let's go ahead and move into the live fire. Same principles apply here. We're going to identify our targets. We're going to work on our facing movements. For this, I would really recommend working on your reloads, right? So when you're working on your reloading, as I said, if you want to start working a dump pouch into it, I would encourage you, if you want to conserve ammo, to maybe only start with 4 rounds in each magazine and work on those reloads. And then as you become better at the reloads and more comfortable with them, then you can begin to mix up the amount of rounds in each magazine. Maybe have your buddy load those magazines for you so you don't know the round count. So you're not anticipating the bolt lock. So you get used to feeling what that feels like, assuming everything is running as it should be. So we're gonna go ahead and start with some ready up drills, real basic ready up drills. And I'm gonna identify the targets that I wanna shoot at before I begin. So I've got a couple of tree stumps directly in front of me with a good backstop. And I'm gonna go ahead and load and make ready. So bring that weapon down into your workspace. Ensure a round is picked up, weapon is on safe. Close that dust cover. So from here, again, we just let that rifle kind of hang, like we're on patrol, like we're running security, and now we see a threat. Ready, up. Let it hang, let it hang, let it hang. Ready, up. Let it hang. Ready, up. Now, maybe we have two threats. Ready, up. Ready, up. Ready, up. Ready, up. Ready, up. Again, this is the basics. As we move through this, as we get more advanced, that's when we're going to begin putting additional footwork in, right? We're going to get off that X. We're going to move out of line of fire. We're not just going to sit there. However, you need to get good at this part first. Ready, up. Ready, up. Got bolt lock. Weapons on safe. Work on that, go slow. The faster you move, the sloppier things end up getting, even if you have a pretty high proficiency level. Now, I noticed I was starting to get a little sloppy because I started speeding it up because I'm a little excited because I'm filming, right? So you need to practice nice and slow and then speed it up. Ready, up. Ready, up. Ready, up. Ready, up. Ready, up. Ready, up. Then we can work in some facing movements. Contact right. But again, identify that target first. I caught myself there. Contact right. Contact right. Contact right. Contact right. Work on the basics. Get really good at it first. Keep practicing. If you don't practice, regardless of your skill level, things are going to get sloppy. You're not going to be as squared away as you thought you were. And there are people who may be counting on you to be really, really good at the basics. So hopefully these drills can help aid you on your journey to tactical preparedness, to tactical proficiency. These same type of drills can be practiced with your handgun. So look at that as an option as well. And train with some buddies, get together with your friends, and make sure everyone's on the same page. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. I just crossed the 10,000 subscriber threshold. So excited. It took a long time, but I'm going to be posting more content because I'm really motivated by that number. Take care, guys. Be safe out there and train.